How's it going, card fighters? I'm Gleaming Garmore, and this is a very special episode of Gleaming Card Lore, the series where I break down my favorite stories from the planet Cray. This story begins not long after the three heroes, Draconic Overlord, Blaster Blade, and Blaster Dark, were freed from their prison. Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark had returned to their roles in the Sanctuary, but Overlord wasn't so lucky. The Dragon of the Apocalypse was freed from the bindings of the Void, but he was exhausted from his terrible and powerful transformation. Draconic Overlord, the end. He was bound once again. This time, he rested in the Dragon Empire, under the protection of the Seal Dragons. The Empire mourned the loss of such a powerful warrior. Eremo visited his coffin almost every day. Overlord would eventually return, but for now, let's focus on the activity in the Sanctuary. In honor of his most trusted friend and ally's return, Alfred formed the Liberators, an order of knights whose mission was to protect the Sanctuary from the Void were it ever to return. Veterans of the Royal Paladin clan were appointed as Liberators to guide the younger soldiers, and even the King of Knights himself came to aid the Liberators on occasion. But luckily, despite the amount of effort put into training a new army, the Sanctuary enjoyed a period of relative peace. For now. Meanwhile, in the Zoo Nation, trouble was brewing. Great Nature Academy was under siege from cybernetic creatures no one on the planet had ever seen before. Students and professors alike united to combat the first wave of the invaders from the Void, Link Joker. Heading the charge was the school hunter Leopold. With his fearsome fangs and blades, he repelled Link Joker not just once, but twice. Alas, this incredible strength would only make him more of a target. Leopold was approached directly by a powerful cyber dragon. He seemed different from the enemies he'd fought until now. The cyberoids that had been trapping students in powerful fields bound by black rings seemed to behave as one, almost as if there was a single mind between all of them. This dragon, on the other hand, spoke to Leopold. He introduced himself as a Star Vader, as Chaos Breaker Dragon. His attitude was playful. Chaos Breaker wasn't the slightest bit intimidated as Leopold continued to strike at him. Instead, he offered the cheetah knowledge beyond his comprehension. As the scythe in one hand deflected Leopold's blows, a black flame danced across the fingers in his other hand. As Leopold was held at bay without Chaos Breaker putting in any effort, he began to falter. Chaos Breaker's dragon's words felt more and more appealing. The second Leopold's guard dropped, the black fire engulfed him. In that moment, something inside Leopold changed. His thirst for knowledge twisted into a foul sense of superiority. The spirit he used to protect his classmates became one of ire and malice. Leopold was encircled by black rings, like the rest of his classmates. But rather than being locked in place, he became obedient to Link Joker, obedient to Chaos Breaker Dragon. School Hunter Leopold had become School Punisher Leopold Reverse. Leopold's first task as an agent of Link Joker was to reverse more units, collect more servants for Link Joker, starting with the World Tree in Neo-Nectar. The unsuspecting Bioroids were incapable of defending themselves. The Guardian of the Tree, Maiden of Venus Trap, was the next to fall to the reverse. With the Zoo Nation taken care of, Chaos Breaker took his troops to Megalonica. The first to catch wind of the Link Joker invasion was Night Mist, the captain of the Grand Blue Pirate Gang. Night Mist called upon Cocytus, and together they managed to repel Link Joker temporarily. But of course, Ice Prison Necromancer Cocytus was a prideful fool. The bodies of cyberoids defeated in this battle were taken in by him to be studied. Link Joker was prepared for this inevitability. The cyberoids released reverse contaminants that slowly corrupted Cocytus' mind. Another useful soldier. The gears were fully in motion. Chaos Breaker's ultimate weapon was charging to full capacity. With 3 powerful units already reversed, this war would be over in no time. The next stop for Link Joker was the South Pole of Planet Cray, the Stargate. Chaos Breaker Dragon once again directly intervened when Dimension Police dared to stand in his way. He locked all those in his path, before being confronted by the super-dimensional combined form of Goyusha, Daiyusha. Being the most renowned of the dimensional robos, he was Stargate's greatest hope. Despite all of this, Chaosbreaker was more than capable of defending himself. Daiyusha was only able to retreat with the aid of Dai Kaiser. As they regrouped to try and fight Chaosbreaker again, guilt wrecked Goyusha's heart. He was unable to protect everyone. He'd never failed like this before. This was what Chaosbreaker was capable of, sowing abject despair into the hearts of even the dimensional robos. This left Goyusha vulnerable when Chaosbreaker struck once more. The reverse took hold of Goyusha, and he began forcibly combining with his dimensional robo allies. He accumulated more and more power, purely for himself. In his completed state, he became Dark Dimensional Robo, Reverse Daiyusha. Link Joker left Reverse Daiyusha in charge of dispatching the rest of Dimension Police, and turned their attention to the Nova Grapplers. Chaosbreaker attempted to negotiate with the beast deity, Ethics Buster. "Don't you want to be the strongest?" he said. But Ethics Buster rejected Chaosbreaker's offer. He said that true strength came from within, that being the strongest beast deity meant nothing if he didn't earn it himself. This didn't stop Chaosbreaker. He forced the power of the reverse into Ethics Buster's core. Another nation had fallen to the reverse. Or had it? Inside Ethics Buster's mind, he confronted every bit of jealousy and despair he held within him. Ethics Buster faced Ethics Buster Reverse in combat. He single-handedly repelled the reverse from his mind, becoming the more powerful Ethics Buster Extreme in the process. But that despair that Ethics Buster had repelled took on a form of its own. Ethics Buster Reverse had managed to exist completely separately from Extreme. Chaosbreaker had still gained another soldier, and the knowledge that a mind could be copied and reversed independently from its host. Ethics Buster's small victory only gave Link Joker another weapon to use. The scientists of Link Joker set their sights on Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom, who slumbered at the bottom of the ocean after exerting the last of his energy during the Liberation War. A copy of Maelstrom's mind was placed into a cybernetic clone body. Blue Storm Karma Dragon Maelstrom Reverse was Link Joker's newest bioweapon. Link Joker had gained control of over half the planet, and the citizens of the Sanctuary and the Empire were none the wiser. Matters got even more drastic when Amon, the Demon World Marquis, handed over the Dark Zone in exchange for power. This made the Pale Moon Circus easy pickings. Silverthorn Dragon Queen Lukie Reverse was a valuable ally. She could use her Charmed Eye to manipulate others at will, and drastically accelerate the spread of the reverse. The Empire and the Sanctuary had yet to prepare their defenses, and it was already too late. Say, dear viewer, now that you've been locked, why don't you press that subscribe button and then look in the description where I keep my Patreon and Ko-fi links. If you click there, you can support me for as little as $1 a month and gain access to a Patreon Discord server.